We incorporated as a nonprofit in 1995, and the focus for those first years was coordinating volunteers who went out into the community to help people with the things that they could no longer do themselves. And then in 2007, we were offered the opportunity to take over the Summit Center, which was a traditional senior center in town. And it was about ready to close. Involvement was down to about 50 people a week. And we kind of flipped it. We made lots of fun changes, and it grew from that 50 people a week to almost 500 people a week over a year and a half. And what are we going to do for space? Parking obviously was a really big issue. And I heard about this building, which was a Nichols Building, which was a former MSU classroom building that was owned by Blue Earth County. They were about ready to tear it down. The building was in disrepair. And I learned that the cost to tear it down was $600,000 of taxpayer money. And Blue Earth County's commissioners heard about, what the vision was to have a larger place for older adults to age well. And so after a lot of conversations, they offered us the opportunity to buy the building for $1, providing we could raise the first $1 million to renovate it.
Well, the vision for the Vine Adult Community Center was presented to the board back in 2010. My very first thought was panic, in a way, because it was such a huge undertaking. I think everybody on the board knew that we needed to have more space. We needed to have a way to expand the services that we were providing, and also to consolidate all of our operations into one place. But this was a 60,000 square foot building, and so it required a lot of thought and a lot of money.
One of the challenges was convincing people that we could pull it off.
Vine, to me, was in a small location downtown, and to leap into a building of this size and to raise $1 million to get there, I didn't think it was attainable.
In the next 4 years was extensive fundraising. There was just a whole lot of effort that was done by many, many people.
I knew that Vine needed to expand from what they had down at the community center where they were, and with the aging population, I foreseen that this would be a great opportunity for Vine. I guess I paid for part of it.
We were able to get to that target date, and so we had a special ceremony and gave them the $1, and they deeded the building to us. And we deconstructed it, took it all the way down to its bones, and then began to build it back up again. Other challenges were recruiting people, the construction people, the architects, the engineers, and people who donated their time or donated at a much reduced cost.
We certainly did have people from the community stepping forward to do a lot of really pretty amazing things. There was a company in North Mankato, John Royce, who was at one time a member of the Vine Board of Directors, who donated all the windows in this building. There were a lot of things that we had to do with the building. We had to immediately abate asbestos in the building. During the construction process, it was basically taken down to the steel girders. And we were so lucky at that point to have an engineer on our board of directors, Keiko Leach, along with so many other people, really stepped forward and did so much on this project. I think the thing that stood out to me the most was just how many moving parts there were with the project. There were just so many different things to worry about and so many different things to do and so many decisions that had to be made. It was just a huge undertaking.
Well, I think Vine has done exactly what I thought it could do. As I get older, what it's done for me is it's made me feel younger. It's a place where you can gather together, you can find educational programming, you can find mental health support, you can find physical activity, you can find personal coaching, you can find just about anything you would need in your personal life as you're retiring and aging. I hope to stay here for a long time.
Well, I think the most unique thing is that it exists. It's an asset that most communities just don't have. So we need to realize that this is something special.
I was not looking for a job. I was looking for a volunteer position. And so I was asked to be the owner's rep to come and help build out a 5th floor and also building of a pool, which very much interested in me because I thought they were absolutely crazy to put a pool in an existing building, but they did it.
Getting the pool started, we realized that there was a money gap there, so we donated some more there.
If it's not supported, it's going to disappear. It's important. It fills a niche that isn't available anywhere else.
Over the years, we continue to see the needs in this building change, and so we actually have contracted with an architecture firm to look at making some further changes within the building. Things to get ready for the needs that are here right now, but also to get ready for the next generation of retirees who, for example, really enjoy yoga and Tai Chi and those types of classes, and having a space that's conducive and feels Zen-like. Adding a co-ed changing room to our current locker rooms because we want this to be a place that's safe for individuals who need the assistance of a caregiver to be able to access the pool. We're looking at expanding our conference center because our presentations and our programs just continue to grow in popularity. And in our discussions about the importance of socialization, we're creating another member social area so people can do just that in a brand new setting.
One wonderful problem that's here is that there's not enough parking, and which to me gives me a lot of happiness when I go past and see people are really using it and enjoying it.
10 years from now, there are going to be a lot more people who are 65 and older. So I would just see that there's going to be more of a need for a lot of what Vine does here at the community center. I'm really confident that Vine will continue to grow and evolve to meet the needs of people in the community who need their services.
People have often asked, how did Vine ever get to be this big? And the only answer that I've had for people is that it grew one person at a time.